Okay, well, yeah. So I had to take a phone call, and now we're back to it. I did while I was on that phone call continue to the end and grab the ore.
Where do we perform the
I came to the end of this and I grabbed the ore that was on the wall just so we didn't have to bullshit through all this. There goes the soil from the void. Here it is. Now we got to perform the ritual.
The rumbles seems hellish but appropriate.
All right. So are we just leaving here then? Okay, I guess. Okay, so so we're just traveling back to the house. Okay, fair enough. Oh, I really wish that we didn't have to like run around and do all this bullshit. But it is what it is. So how's this? I wonder how this is gonna work. Are we gonna like travel the void and kill this bitch or this demon? Oh, okay. So summon. So we just make manifest, or
Now step from the shadows. I failed this one all right.
okay? So then summon scourge, I guess.
Reveal yourself!
That's not the ritual I'd have used.
Well then what? Is it a? Oh, yeah. Okay. Never mind. I was like, well, we're trying to summon her here,
the origin,
right?
The lure and the binding.
Isn't that the idea?
It's fighting me.
Well, ritual failed, so.
It's over.
Maybe. Hopefully.
No, I don't think so. I mean, it still said ritual failed.
Sore.
So.
Weaker.
That ritual took its toll on you.
Alright, well, that got me nothing. That was fucking useless. So, cool. What a fun, useless quest. That offered literally 0 to the game. Cool. Very fun. Glad to have done it. Alright, well, so now that we're done with that useless shit that I probably shouldn't have done because there was no fucking point, now we can head back to the island and travel to the town. Yes? Guessing it's probably gonna give me a no. This is the point of no return.
One more walk through the void.
Yep. At the end of the Void Breach, New Town, once you have crossed, you will not be able to return. Beyond this point, you cannot acquire new essences, upgrade your equipment, or change Red Antea's fate, except by loading a previous save. Alright. Well, we know that Antea is going to get her ascent, so...
Wait. This is it, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. My hand's passing through the sword handle.
This is it.
You always think you have more time. And suddenly, you don't.
Do you have regrets?
If there's one thing I've learned while working as a banisher, and working with you, it's that people look through the world through whatever lens they believe is the right one. And that leaves no room for regrets. We all make mistakes. We all work with what we have. So no, no regrets. My lens today is not the same as my lens back then. I've made peace with my own life.
Are you saying people can change?
Don't get ahead of yourself. I had a good life. We had a good life.
I'm gonna miss you so very much.
There's much to do between here and goodbye. Let's go do it. Thank you for standing by my side through it all. For everything. Into the fray, then.
Always. What is it?
Baggage I may need to finally face.
Oh boy.
Let's press on.
Whatever it is, we're gonna find out. Love finds a way. And we have a long way to go.
Stay watchful. Spectres are still drawn to you.
Oh, brilliant.
Oh shit.
You chose the schoolhouse too.
Of course. Our last night together.
I knew it. And now the question is, how do we reach it?
I like your doll. What are you doing?
This is Aleja. She is a witch, and she is running away from the Spanish soldiers. She had a horse, but he died. He was an old friend.
Maybe we can build her a raft.
I'm Antea. What's your name?
To hell with that.
Was that an echo? In the void?
I don't know, and I don't want to know.
Alright, so some of Antea's past is coming out, clearly. Something is playing around in the void here.
Patience, Antea. You know that we have to be twice as good as them to get half of what they have. I can't stand it anymore.
Alright, so we need to get up here.
I think your mother is jealous of you.
I'm better than she was a mage. Of course she is.
We could train in secret. Practice when she's not looking.
These are memories from my childhood. But why here?
Reinforcements! Get back up!
It's like a harmonica. Come on, get off the wall.
Over there, a passageway.
The paths form and reform. Your passageway's already gone.
This place has a plan for us, and I suspect we may not like it.
It's just us here, Antea.
Damn it!
The void centers in on us. Perhaps you've been thinking about your past and memories are manifesting.
Or the other way around.
Okay.
Blasted pest! Rory,
Tell me,
Calendre is here.
your childhood friend is here.
What passed for my friend?
Right. We leave now. You explain later.
Alright, so...
Mama? Mama!
It's just a game.
What's going on?
She was friends with a
Come
ghost.
on. Bernard.
What are you?
Our house burned. But we lived. I banished her without knowing how. Back then I didn't know what she was. It's here. Leading us somewhere we don't want to go.
Free yourself, Antea. Let the fire melt your shackles.
Careful, Red. It's close.
Oh boy.
More fun.
Stay, Antea. Stay and play with me.
Oh, we're going through here.
I feel like I'm being led by the nose.
playing with us. Wants us to feel powerless.
I'll feast on your soul. You won once. Never again. Never again. Come and play, Antea.
Yeah, but she didn't have me. She didn't have Red the first time.
You will never leave this place.
You can't go round the fire. You must go through.
Oh, little Antea. All alone. No one to play with. No one to talk to. Oh, little Antea. Gifted and talented. Constricted. Bound. Abandoned.
Go to hell.
I think she's already there.
You now. Look at your dead, clinging to some pitiful soul in a hopeless search for meaning. Thank you, Rory McRaith, for bringing her to me.
Remember the rumbles, Red. Remember Abigail. Don't indulge it.
You'll soon be mine. Your voice, your soul, everything.
Damn you. You want to play, Calendre? Fine. Let's play.
Oh boy, there she is.
At last you visit Calendre. Your bestest friend.
We are not friends. And your name is not Calendre.
Perhaps I should name myself by what called me to you. Your weariness? Your solitude? Your arrogance?
There are more of you, aren't there? So what's a manipulative demon like you doing in the void? Why aren't you out in the incarnate world?
Ask her. Ask Antea. The only one who ever cared for you. Or ever will. Because she sent me here. Because she banished me. Tell me, Rory of the clan McRaith, when you realize you hardly know the woman you love, how does it feel to learn, after all these years together, these things she never deigned to tell you? These things that sit brooding at the very center of her soul.
My love for her is unconditional.
But is hers?
Why'd you lead us here? What do you want from us?
Don't humor it, Rory.
Careful now. The idea of tearing your precious little pet into pieces just became much more appealing. I'd hate for you to get hurt so fast while you try to save him. But... oh wait. You already did that, didn't you?
That's enough from both of you. For years, I would not shoulder the weight of what I did. I would not face my regrets. I would not wear my guilt. My home burned to the ground. My face was marked forever. When I look in the mirror, I think of you. I fled the family I'd nearly killed. I buried my true feelings in hate for you. No more. I loved you once. You were my sister. You were my soul. But I understand now that you were born of all this darkness, that you thrive on it. And because of this, I forgive you. I forgive Calendre for being nothing but a mirror. And I forgive myself for not knowing better.
And you, Rory McRaith? Can you forgive her for leaving you alone and unloved and haunted only by her memory?
The souls we banish end up in the void. I know this now. I pity them. I pity you.
Your pity means nothing to me, mortal. You are nothing.
How convenient then that I don't need you to give myself closure.
Antea, Antea. Such a clever girl. So good with words of power. Is that how you seduced your little pet here?
My name is Nezuko, and I am the relentless servant of the Queen of Kerr.
The hell?
Come, stay a while, stay forever.
Oh, damn.
For lonely Antea. Mine! You are going to pay for this!
Alright, that's cheating.
We must focus on the sorrow. Then we can end this. Not here, not now.
This is my realm!
Oh, so see, it gets low enough and then...
Come back here, demon. We've a game.
It gets low enough and then you can't damage it. Okay, I guess I have to go this way. Nazuku.
Little Antea still needs a shot.
But not yours.
I even see the Sar over there.
Come back, Calendre. We're not done.
Just you and me, Antea. For handsome. You're so predictable. As stubborn as you are weak, you've not changed. Just you and me, for all time's sake.
Alright, take us to the middle here.
I see you.
And I see you.
As stubborn as you are.
I don't understand how that works when I'm like clearly Antea at the time.
You are going to pay for this.
Nazuku no more. Defeat Kalindre.
That was something.
I never told you the full story. I'm sorry.
No need.
Please, let's get out of here.
Well, shout out to your childhood demon that's now dead. Hey, look where we are.
We're here.
Oh, this place is looking like right shit, dude. Damn. This place is looking not good.
Onwards. Let's get this over with. Is the entire town lost to Ivy? Her influence must still be strong.
Well, strong enough.
But as Charles would say, another day, another soul to save.
What the fuck?
These people have no idea what they're up against.
What the hell?
We really had no idea what we were walking into.
If I'd taken the threat seriously, then you might be alive.
All that matters now is that you give me my assent.
Alright, I gotta get out of this goddamn graveyard.
Once you've revealed the roots, I'll destroy them.
Alright, so... we have one in there. Second one is right there. Oh yeah, remember that. And the third one is there. Okay.
Think you could take on a ghost? Watch out. Spectre possession. Stop that spectre before it possesses the corpse. Sharpen up.
lost, won't you? Bloody mongrel.
Come on.
You're done.
I'm really just trying to like perfect that so that when I play on the Xbox version, I kind of have that down.
Would you a lecture on the sanctity of marriage?
Esther wouldn't dare. And we don't need a piece of paper to keep us together.
Aye, I remember you telling her.
We were so in love.
We are in love.
With no condition. To the very end.
Aye. The very end.
Damn, look at this place.
I see a light.
How? Could Esther still be here?
Hello? It's a deed of purchase. Notice of sale. Okay. I don't know if I read any of these. Certificate. Proclaim Flora Abbott winner. Oh, this is Flora Abbott's house. Never mind. So the certificate in the 16th of August, 1690, I, Governor Fairfax Haskell, proclaimed Miss Flora Abbott winner of the New Eden hunting contest with the exceptional wild turkey trophy of 27 pounds, dethroning the usual winner, Mr. Theodore Shepard, for the first time in 5 years of competition. As a reward, Miss Flora Abbott receives the honorary title of Best Hunter in New Eden, the modest sum of 150 shillings. Miss Flora Abbott is free to dispense with her trophy as she wishes. Then New England, New England. So I haven't read these yet. Deed of purchase, 12th of July, 1691, Colony of New Eden. Mr. Landon Dutton of New Eden sells to Flora Abbott of Lynn in the colony of Massachusetts 2.5 acres of land, including a dwelling and 800 square meters of cultivable land known to all as Dutton's Farm. Noted at New Eden in the presence of said seller Dutton, purchaser Miss Abbott, witness H. Batchelor. Notice of sale, 13th of April, 1691, Borough of Lynn, Colony of Massachusetts Bay. Alexander Law of Boston hath bought of Flora Abbott of Lynn 5 acres of land and a dwelling, barn, well, and fruit trees thereon, lying in the common fields on the west side of the town of Lynn, between the land of Farmer Eaton on the north side and Captain Miles Standish on the south, for a valuable consideration agreed on between them. Flora Abbott, Dunn and Lynn, before Miss Flora Abbott, Mr. Alexander Law, and Mr. Quinton. Okay.
That corpse is taken in. Wee Highland kiss for you.
Letter from Philippa. December 17th, 1687. My dear Prudence, I must thank you for your last letter, which was well received. How surprised I was to include it the announcement of your marriage to the lucky Mr. Hake. Of course, I imagine Mr. Hake is a man of education and intelligence, and I wish you the happiest of marriage. Long live the bride and groom. I understand now why you stayed so long in the New World. Between your job as the captain's cook and the new Union, you must feel fulfilled and contented. I also note that as a married woman in a respected position, you are now blameless in your community. If ever a woman is suspected of wrongdoing, it won't be you. This is a valuable asset in uncertain times. I commend you for your passion and commitment and look forward to your next letter. Yours as always, Philippa. Potage of venison. Take a haunch of venison, cut it into 6 pieces, and place them in the bottom of a saucepan or pot. Then put in water to the brim, let it boil, then skim, and add a good amount of pepper. When it is half boiled, add 4 whole onions, cloves, nutmeg, 3 or 4 bundles of sweet herbs. Let it boil until the venison is very tender and the broth is reduced. After that, reserve the meat broth. Keep your venison hot in the same pot by adding hot water. Then take 2 roots of red beets, which you will have boiled well before. Cut them into square pieces about the size of a shilling. Put them into the new broth of your meat and let them cook until they are very tender. Add to the boiling 4 chopped anchovies, then pour in your stock. Set aside until it nearly fills the dish. Then take your beetroots alone, mix them in a little drawn butter, and arrange them over the venison. If the beets are good, they will make the broth quite red. Draft letter to Philippa. My dearest Philippa, I have been in New Eden for several weeks now. In that time, I have deepened my acquaintance with some of my companions and have learned much about those within the colony who appear to have position. Captain Saul Pennington, of whom I have spoke before, leads the local militia. A veteran of several wars, he is, as you would expect, something of an authoritarian. He pisses vinegar, as the saying goes, if you'll excuse my using such vulgarity, but he is capable. The trained band respect him, and most of the men of an age to serve do so. Governor Fairfax Haskell, for example, is a man of faith. To the manner born, he seems enough respected by his people and maintains a cordial and reciprocal relationship with the establishment in London. A widower, I believe. He has one son, Lamentation, a strange boy, who, while he lacks his father's charisma, seems smart enough. Also well respected in the colony is the minister, one Charles Davenport. He is amiable and peaceful. In turbulent times, one might imagine him opposing the Hawks. I shall go to him for guidance whenever the opportunity presents. There are others, a wild woman known by Thickskin, who keeps mostly to the woods. Her waif-like younger sister, who is something of a naif. The colony lacks a blacksmith, but one is hired. I shall tell you of him when he arrives. And there, my dear Pippa, is all the gossip with which I shall bore you for today. Board blueprint. White pine, too much give. Yellow birch, aye, but is it strong enough? Red oak, too heavy on its own. 5 feet long, 2 feet 6 inch wide, plus a thumb in thickness. Okay, can't go up there. This is probably going to be quite a long final part. I'm thinking it's probably going to be like 2.5 or 3 hours. If it's 3 hours, I may split it in half, to be honest. And do 2 hour-and-a-half parts. But I really want to finish this today.
Oh, there? Anybody home?
These are all the books. I hear her.
Esther.
Rory? Are you a dream? Are you here? Are you really here?
I am. We are. Have you been here alone all this time?
No, not alone. Charles visits from time to time. We talk.
That's not Charles. Charlie had his ascent. Do you remember?
Oh yes, I remember. It's all very foggy. Do we ever mend the wounds of true love lost? Esther, do you know me? Antea. Yes, I know you.
You come to Red as Charles comes to me. How very good of you.
Dearest Esther, I died. I am a ghost.
You know, I'd have liked to join your games. You three, chasing ghosts and whatnot. I learn fast. But not today. Today feels like a dream.
Can we speak of Deborah?
Don't say her name. She'll hear you. She'll hear our thoughts.
Let her. Truth is not to be feared. Truth is freedom. There's no ending to the story until the truth is told.
Red, you are a dear, dear friend. But there is no truth that does not look like a nightmare. And the difference between the two cannot be told.
Nothing stands against the truth, and even a nightmare's power must have its limit.
And what if the limit is the frontier of New Eden? What if here she is all-powerful and there is no escape?
What will pass, will pass. And if it does, and we are free, what will you do?
I'll away back to London. New Eden is lost now and for centuries to come.
I am a ghost, and ghosts do not dream. This is real. We are here, and so are you. I promise you.
Perhaps none of it is real. Perhaps it is all her dream. Perhaps this is the curse.
Aye. And maybe life's a dream, but hell's balls, I hope not.
New Eden was a dream, you know. A dream of heaven shared by we, its people. But we seem to have brought the nightmare with us.
What's going on up at the meeting house?
I do not ask about the meeting house, and nor should you. To think that once we worshipped there, that Charles would give his sermons there. There of all places.
What awaits us in the meeting house?
You know. You know who awaits you there. Behind the eerie overgrowth. The meeting house is her garden now. Her hate is deeply rooted. And her climbing, crawling
like her mind's
creepers
all
reach
foggy.
out across the land. Like the tree of blood that grows from out your heart.
Like the tree of blood.
All things good and bad have their end. And the meeting house is just a place. We'll go there and find a finish.
You're a brave and gentle soul, Red McRaith. I shall remember you when you're gone. If remember I still can.
What's happened in New Eden while we were gone?
Oh, everyone left. I did not wish to join them. She let me stay.
She? Deborah?
Speak not her name. It makes her angry. She is much more powerful now, and your return has already vexed her.
We're not here to vex her, nor to attack her. Antea just wants what's hers.
Last time, Red McRaith, you escaped with your life. Do you think she'll let you do it again?
I'm rather hoping she will, aye. She knew I'd come back. What else was I gonna do?
Which of us has choice when free will is a lie? None has choice. Each is another's glimmer of hope, sparkling futile in the darkness.
We're here for Antea's body. This is her tie, and the nightmare has it.
Yes. By her body she is held hostage. Her flesh is her tie. Charles told me all about it.
We must break the tie. to set Antea free.
She won't surrender it. You'll have to end her. But if she goes, then Charles goes too. I don't want that. I don't want that at all.
Well, we don't really care what you want, so...
Goodbye, Hester. Perhaps we'll meet again.
Perhaps we shall. It's so very pleasant to speak to new old friends. From time to time. To time.
It breaks my heart to see her this way.
This is the nightmare's doing.
We need to be careful. We're in her stronghold now.
Have some of this.
Okay.
Die, you bastard!
Wow, there's like so many houses that we can investigate now. Letter from Newsmith's mother. 15th of May, 1690. My darling girls, it's been a few weeks since I've heard from you. I hope that everything is going well. The old world has not changed. Old Everton died 2 days ago. A simple death, a peaceful one, in his sleep. I don't know if you remember him, but you used to feed his chickens when you were children. You loved it. The funeral is in a few days, but I don't think there will be many people there, unfortunately. You know how lonely he was. On a happier note, your cousin is getting engaged soon with Mary. She's such a lovely girl. They may move to York because Mary wants to open her own store, and your cousin will certainly find more work in town. We would have loved to have you at his wedding. Perhaps you will come back soon. Send us some news. Your father is worried, and so am I. Your father and brother embrace you. Your mother who loves you. Thick-skinned unsent letter. Kate, you know I'm not good with words, so I want to tell you something, and since I can't talk to you, maybe I can write it down. I can see that you have changed since the execution of Deborah Commonus. I can see that you're not well, and I won't ask you why, because I know you won't tell me. But you have to pull yourself together. You have to be strong, otherwise you won't survive in this world. I know our relationship has changed, and I know I'm not the best at expressing feelings, but you're my little sister, and I care about you. I'll do anything to keep you close to me. I want to help you, Kate, so let me do it. All right. Alright, I'm going to pause this real quick because I have a couple of things that I have to do. I know I'm keep pausing this shit, but we're going to split this into multiple parts, so I'll be back in just a sec. Alright, let's continue. Letters from the Newsmith's father. 21st of July, 1688. My dear Catherine, your last letter about this woman's execution frightened me. No one has the right to life or death. No one has the right to be above our Lord. We all make mistakes, but the one who decides to punish the guilty party by taking away their life is not much better than them. Who are we to pretend to play God? I thought the new world would bring its share of modernity. Obviously, we did well to stay in England. We are too old for this kind of adventure anyway. You know I've always been strongly opposed to the death penalty, but the more time passes, the more the people with whom I discuss this subject change their minds. People change, Catherine. You have to believe me. One day I am sure the world will become a better place. Well, buddy, if that's not the worst thing you could have said, because that's not true. I don't know if I will see it. Clearly you won't. But you, my daughter, will be a part of that new world. You are already there. Take advantage of this new beginning to bring new ideas to make your voice heard. I know you can be as strong as your sister. You can be as strong as your sister sometimes, so come out of the shadows and dare to fight for what you believe in. Your father who loves you. Okay. Letters from the Newsmith's father. 8th of September, 1688. My dear Catherine, I'm glad to know your sister is teaching you to shoot. I know she can be a little tough sometimes, but give her a chance. You know she has a thick skin, and I doubt that will change. Your sister changed drastically when your mom got sick. She suffered a lot during all those years, you know. You don't remember it because you were still a child and we wanted to protect you, but your sister, despite her young age, took a lot on herself to take care of you and the farm while I took care of your mother. I knew she wanted to go to school and why not get an education, but I asked her to stay and help me. I feel bad about it. She didn't have the choice to do what she wanted to do with her life. So do it for me, will you? Our relationship has always been complicated. I would like it to be the other way around for you. I'd like you to get along with your sister. She never talks about it, but she has suffered a lot. Maybe one day you'll be able to break through her shell. Your father who loves you. So he wrote letters to both of his daughters. And then this letter was to Well, so this one was to Catherine. This one. All right, so they're all to Catherine. They're all to Kate. So that's how she came to get the name Thickskin. I didn't know there was going to be so much reading, but at the end of this. But clearly, obviously, you get to investigate all these houses now. So it kind of gives you the opportunity to... So was there any houses that I missed down here? We checked... We went there. We checked these... We couldn't go in here. But we checked this one... We checked this one. What about this house? No, there's a board in front of that, so we can't. Oh, my alarm is going off for my medication. My phone call lasted longer than I liked it to have. I was only supposed to be on the phone for maybe like an hour, and then it turned into like almost a 2.5 hour ordeal, so... Alright, let's go in here. So clearly all these houses we get to kind of investigate now that we know about all these characters. Letter from Dr. Mindlaw. Boston, this 13th day of February in the year 1689. To whom it may be concerned, my name is Alton Mindlaw, and a doctor here in Boston. I read this letter that you may accord the bearer Miss One Anne Wings all consideration for useful employment within your company. Although a single woman in plain, Miss Wings has many fine attributes, most pertaining to the provision of care to the sick and wounded. She may be of use to your train band, or as a port of first call should your townlands lack as yet a doctor. She speaks only when required, and does so gently, but she is sharp and clever, and knows her way around remedies and salves, can cook and clean, and has a strong stomach to boot. Yours respectfully and sincerely, Dr. Alton Mindlaw, Boston. Kind of asked back, like a backhand compliments. She shuts her fucking mouth when she needs to. Letter from Irwin, 14th of April, 1682. Dearest Mistress Wings, Anne, how pleasant it was to hear from you. You'll be glad to hear, I hope, that the carpenter has turned me a wooden leg, and a fine peg it is too. I shall be up and dancing like a cack-footed cockerel before I know it. Perhaps someday we shall dance together as we talked about. Perhaps, and I hope this not be too forward, we might even marry. Jesus Christ. You took care of me, Nurse Wings. Now, would you marry me so I can put babies in you? Might not be too forward, but yeah, okay. Although I may be of an age and tall, I'm a foot shorter than most women would like, and I know it. But though young, you are wise and a kind and gentle soul with such a good heart that you did not look on me with disgust nor with pity, and that has stirred a warming in my heart. Come back to me, Anne, and be my wife. The pastor has helped me write this letter. Yours in respectful solicitude, Irwin. Yeah, soliciting for sure. Solicit fucking these nuts, Irwin. You loser. Well, she's dead now, so. Anne Wing's old journal. 26th of January, 1685. Argued with Totten over Hippocrates. I always call I never say Hippocrates because I watch Bill and Ted too much, so I always say Hippocrates. But I know it's Hippocrates. Theory of humors. The good surgeon, in common visitation, did not appreciate my contradicting him. But he is wrong. The treatment of the sick and wounded cannot be founded on classical principles evermore. Not without challenge. Much good work is done in England and in Europe with Fascio and Fabry and Mary Collinet and others. There are useful notions elsewhere. Araby in particular, Taunton sees himself as a learned Christian Englishman, but the cross sits over his eyes and ears. He cannot see the way ahead, and he will not hear the truth if he does not come from other learned Christian Englishmen. I don't understand a word of that. Well, I mean, I understand what she means by, like, the cross sits on his eyes and ears. Like, he doesn't pay too much mind of the things around him, so he kind of is blind. He kind of uses his Christian faith to be blind to the world around him. He just believes God will take care of it. What a loser. Oh. Curfew. Is there anything else on here? No. Alright. Hello? Let's see. Captain Pennington unsent letter. March 3rd, 1688. Brother, I have little time to write and less inclination, but should I have the courage to post this letter, I believe it would please you to hear my news. You are unlikely aware of my newest commission. I now captain the train band in the resettled colony of New Eden. It made a pleasant change and allowed me, or so I thought, time to devote to Grace, your niece. Alas, my daughter no longer lives at home. Bent as I was on my new responsibilities to the town train band, I allowed her the freedom to find her place here, and for some months it all went well. The girl was growing into a fine young woman, modest and good. Some of the finer young men expressed an interest in taking her as a wife. Then, more recently, I noticed a note of resentment creep into her comportment. Her witty remarks, hitherto light and gentle, became barbed. Neighbors took offense, and soon so, too, I admit, did I. But my admonishments had no effect, dear brother. If anything, she worsened. And then, and I can barely bring myself to write it, I learned why. I discovered her writing, drawings she had drawn, strange dolls she had constructed. So, see, there you go. She was starting to, like, already kind of learn the ways of like, witchcraft. And Captain Pennington... Well, see, that just proves that Captain Pennington is a coward, because he couldn't even put his own fucking daughter to the fire, right? Ashamed as I am to put the words on the page, I must, my dear brother, your niece gave herself to the devil. And when I, outraged, calmly demanded explanation, calmly, my ass, she smirked, she laughed. I could hear the evil one in her soul, and see him glint in her eye. I chased her from the house, I forbade her ever to return, and yet I was weak. I should have arrested her, I should have denounced her to the court, but she is, even yet, my daughter. I pray that the next time I suspect such ungodly practice, I shall not be so lenient, clearly. Please, should Grace come to visit, be warned that she is a witch. Keep your beautiful family safe, and send my daughter from your door in all haste, or smite her if you deign it needed. She is no more my daughter. She is no more a Pennington. I'll not see her again, lest she bring the devil and his shame into my house. I advise you to follow the example and do the same. Your brother Saul. I hate that guy. Witchcraft in New Eden by S. Pennington. 24th of May, 1688. About Deborah Commonus. Ever since we arrested her, the witch has been crying out her innocence and begging us to set her free. She says it's a mistake. Witches are like that. Lie makers. They are ready to do anything in order to deceive you and to please their dark lord. I set out to search her house. I found many books on many subjects, but also notes on the history of the area. I still don't know why she did this. It looks like a study. Maybe she was planning to bring her sisters to take over New Eden. I think we have escaped the worst of it, but I still need to do more research. The study books I found look like ordinary books, but I'm sure they are coded, that they hide secrets. I'll find out, and finally, it will be over with these stories of witchcraft in New Eden. God, this guy really just deserves a kick in the balls. Again, if she asked... Another fucking Bible. Oh, I was like, what? The Ghost of War. For civilians, never-ending wars or long-lasting battles are just fancy words or concept for history books and stories. But for any soldier or officer, it is a grim reality which resonates with pain and fear beyond exhaustion. Contrary to what most people believe, most battles are short and deadly. Troops meet, people die, victory is declared. To stand on a battlefield is exhausting for the body, the mind, and the nerves. I have never personally spent more than a few minutes, an hour at most, in a combat situation, and I cannot thank God enough to have survived without any major injuries. But then why do I frequently dream of such never-ending battles? It is a way for my brain to let my deepest fears go at night, like some steam from a kettle. If only. For these dreams are awful and terrible, and I see myself standing forever on a rotten battlefield, unable to remember why I fight or who I fight, only animated by the burning desire to keep on killing. And I stand there, drenched in blood, desiccated and grinning like the horsemen of the apocalypse, forgetting the reason I ever started fighting, forgetting about the idea of resting. And when I wake up, I fear to touch my face and feel under my fingers the barren mask of death and flesh that I am when I sleep. For these dreams are like another reality whispered by my brain and a dark deception of my true self to come. Why the fuck is Pennington reading that shit? What the fuck, dude? I think I need some help. Alright, so I can't go up here. I just didn't think there was going to be so much reading here.
After this,
if
we
any,
should set sail somewhere warm and safe. The dead don't linger.
No such place. But it's not a bad idea.
What shall I say to you when I give you your assent?
I don't know.
All ghosts linger for a reason. This is an odd kind of homecoming.
welcome back to the schoolhouse. Alright. We'll take a nice little rest.
It's strange to be back.
It's strange to sleep near the place where you died.
Still, rest you should. You'll need it.
I don't know that I can.
Rest you should.
Come on. Spit it out.
What will I say to you when you go? When I give you your assent?
You have been heard, as you say to everybody.
I'll be the banisher, bringing an ending to his own haunting case. How does that work?
The same as any other. You'll undo the tie. Don't worry. I won't resist.
But why did you stay? What is the tie that we're undoing?
I told you to be careful. That night in this room, I told you to be careful. I worried you'd act rashly and told you not to. You got up and walked straight into her trap.
I thought you'd gone to the meeting house without me.
I died to save you.
You stay out of anger.
Yes, I stayed because I was angry. Angry with you.
I think I've known that for a while now.
The anger lingers. Part of me resents you yet. For my pain and my fear. For my suffering. For my dying. I resent you.
Antea, I'm truly sorry.
I know you are. You've done your best to put things right. But I did die. And in a few short hours, you will have to let me go.
Yeah, I know. It's probably going to be more like a few short minutes, to be honest. Because we're headed up there now.
It is time.
What if I fail once more? One wrong choice will exact a heavy price.
Whatever happens, we will face it. Till death do us part.
Haha. Good, because she's dead. All right, time to put an end to Deborah. Deborah. But first, a battle.
Watch out! Spectre possession. Don't let that spectre get to the corpse.
Oh, cool.
Don't think he likes us much.
The roots won't remain visible for long after I take the heart. Be quick. She won't let us in so easily.
A few roots will not stop us.
Alright, so we have one here. And the other one's here.
Picked and culled.
Alright.
No Eden suffers. We suffer. My friends, I have disturbing news.
Fuck.
Among us walks a witch. Is that not so, Deborah Comenius? Lock her up.
No! No! 'Tis not true! I am no witch!
So that's how it all began.
Aye. With ordinary evil from the hearts of fearful men.
As it seems to always start. There's no need to break any of these barrels. Boxes and such.
Deborah Comenius, this court finds you guilty of the devil's work. Guided by God's mercy, I pass sentence on the witch. Pain forte Dieu. Confess and name your accomplices, or die for your sins.
I have nothing to confess.
How could they have let this happen?
Not a soul stood or spoke for her. There's no justice here. It's a travesty.
I guess we gotta do more of this bullshit. One there. One there. Maybe those are just the two?
Confess, witch. None stand for you. Your coven has betrayed you. Name them, and you shall live.
I am no witch. You know this, all of you. Do not turn away from me. You must release me. You must. Will no one speak for me? Anyone? Please, help me. Help me!
I feel her distress, her rising terror, her dark despair.
She's suffered enough, and so have we.
Yeah, no one spoke for her. That's why she damns the whole goddamn town.
Here, my body, my flesh displayed like a trophy.
More like bait.
Or both. All right, Deborah. We have unfinished business, you and I. Your body's well preserved for being out here for probably like a good 12 weeks or so.
So, the circle is complete. Do you return to the beginning? Or is it the beginning of your return?
Oh, okay.
A paradox. How clever. How it pleases you to play with time.
I do not play.
Deborah, we know what happened to you. We know what they did to you.
What they did. What they do. I shatter yet.
We're not here to hurt you. You have my body and I want it back, that's all. Help us, because we can help you.
No, you cannot.
Yes, I actually can.
Ready and waiting.
Die!
Enough.
There's good side of Deborah.
You are me. Yet you oppose me. They murdered us.
Yeah, they cast the stones, of course.
Make them pay.
No. They do not deserve our rage, not these two.
All deserve our wrath. They crushed the breath from us. You know this. You asked for this.
Not anymore.
It's over. You have been heard. The truth is out.
No! Come back! Feed upon the pain, the treachery, the outrage!
No more. It hurts.
Behold my wrath! They locked us up!
She got her chains out. Shackles.
No one stood for us! They started it!
The pen, the quill. I knew we were going to use these items at one point.
They turned their back on us! Remember the agony! The terror!
Curse is lifted, and the heart.
If they live, they win. All of them.
Enough pain now.
There must be a reckoning.
The pain may end right now. The reckoning is here.
Spare me your compassion, for it comes far too late.
Who are you?
I am Retribution.
A word. An idea. But who are you?
I am her fury.
No longer.
I am their nightmare!
You were.
You aren't anymore.
You believe you've won? It will not be so easy. For I will haunt your dreams.
Well, I think not. Goodbye. Deborah just wants this shit to end at this point.
Is that an end to it?
Yes. If you want it to be.
Are you sure?
Need to give Deborah her assent.
In your hand you weigh my death. The last stone laid upon my broken body.
I'm so very sorry.
Will you leave? Are you ready?
I have lingered so very long. Where now will I go?
I don't know. A better place, I believe. A quiet place.
Quiet is good.
You have been heard.
Deborah Comenius, mere words can ill describe your suffering. And if they could, I'd not utter them now. Enough wrong has been done you. Your tale is told. And we thank you for it. You are hurt. And free to go.
Well, guess about that time.
Hey, I'm right here.
Aye, you are.
The time has come, and I must go.
That was the promise I made.
We've done good work here. We've made my death count for something.
Someday, we'll meet again.
Take all the time in the world.
You ever kiss a ghost?
I love you, Rory McGrath.
Like in the movie Ghost?
Spent by your side have made me a better man. You've taught me to survive. You've taught me to live. Thank you. From my heart of hearts, thank you. Farewell, my love.
Death for the dead.
Life for the
Life
living.
for the living.
There she goes. Then we go give her a burial. A proper one.
If grief is an odyssey through hell, then what appears to be the end is often just the beginning. New Eden never recovered. For years, neither did Red. But in time, the pain of Antea's loss faded, and only the bittersweet beauty of their love lived on in his memory. Who knows? Perhaps, years from now, a legendary Scotsman, his hair grey, shall sit with his children and many apprentices and tell them a story. The tale of his beloved Antea. Of how she lived, and how she died, and how together, in New Eden, they lifted a curse and defeated a nightmare.
Well, there we go. Well, so, before we go, shall we take a look at the other endings, eh? So, so it says here, if Red decided to not resurrect Antea, he allows her to take her ascent. Depending on how many other spirits he convinced to take their ascent rather than banishing them, Red either eventually comes to terms with Antea's death and raises a family to train as the next generation of Banishers, or he never recovers from Antea's loss and makes a journey to Cuba to inform her family of her death. So I guess it just depends on how many you convince to take the ascent. If Red breaks his oath to resurrect Antea or let her ascend, then the ritual fails and retribution returns. As punishment for failing to help Deborah, retribution accelerates Seeker's aging, revealing her to be Ceridian. And as punishment for failing to uphold his promise to Antea, retribution traps Red in a time loop where he is sent back to the time he was rescued by Seeker with no memory of what happened. That's kind of crazy. And if Red decided to resurrect Antea and sacrifice most of the town people, then he successfully resurrects her and they both leave New Eden together. However, they both remain traumatized by the terrible sin they have committed and eventually begin to practice dark magic. Either way, there's some pretty crazy endings in there, to be honest. Yeah. So, before we go, of course, I kind of want to give my thoughts on this game in the end. I enjoyed this. I enjoyed playing this. I definitely think it was fun. I feel like there's a lot of fucking padding, though. I feel like there's just a lot of, like, extra shit that isn't really needed. Like, some of the collectibles I feel like aren't needed, and the map is just so gigantic. I feel like the map is a little too big for this. But I honestly feel that the music's great. I feel that the stories with the hauntings are good. I feel like the characters are well fleshed out and well written. I feel like you get a nice idea of all these people that lived in New Eden, and then you come back at the end and you kind of read more about them at the end. And I actually like that. I think that it's nice to see a game in which, you know, they really kind of give you some nice fleshed out characters that actually you kind of feel multiple ways towards. I feel like there's a lot of characters that you really want to hate, and there's also characters that you want to hate, but you kind of let them get redeemed if you redeem them anyway. And it kind of it wraps itself up nicely, I think, for a lot of characters. I guess, you know, with the fact that I gave everybody, like, I gave all of the ghosts their ascents and all of that, I feel like we've obviously gotten the best ending that we could have gotten in terms of, like, the idea that Red kind of was able to move on and everything and heal from this. I feel like the complete opposite ending, which is what I'm going to do for the Xbox version, the bad ending, I feel like that's going to be pretty sadistic, to have killed everybody to sacrifice them all. It's pretty fucked up. But I would actually like to see, like, a sequel to this game. I feel like, obviously, you know, you have what's her face, Mary or whatever her name is, the woman from Mount Pleasant, she's clearly going to be a banisher. I would love to see this game take place in like London, for example. Take it all the way back to England. A Banishers game that would be set in England would be pretty cool. Maybe during like the early 1700s, mid 1700s would be kind of fun. And like to see her in the game would be pretty cool as well. Or you could take this game straight to Boston, because we hear a lot about Boston, we just don't see it. But yeah, I definitely think that my favorite part of the map was the Harrows. Dark Woods I think is my least favorite, just because it was so convoluted in its pathways, and also just having to come back there 50 million times to do more quests. And then Mount Pleasant I would say is my second favorite, because I like the snowiness of it. But I enjoyed this. I definitely feel like the game needs a transmog. I'm going to reach out to Don't Nod and see if I can say, like, hey, do you guys have, like, an idea if you could make a transmog for this game? Because I feel like a transmog would be great for the clothes and everything. But I've thoroughly enjoyed this. I hope you all have too. I know that we're, 24 parts for this. It's a bit of a long run. But, regardless of that, I've enjoyed playing through this. Sometimes they're frustrating. Sometimes I've had a blast. I'm kind of glad it's over, to be honest. I'm ready to kind of move on from it. But with that being said, yeah, that's that. We're going to be playing some more, Beyond Good and Evil on the channel. I think we're actually close to finishing that game too. So if you're unaware, the two next games that are going to be up on the channel are going to be a fast-paced third-person shooter by the name of Vanquish. It's made by Platinum Games. It's nuts. We're going to be playing the anniversary version of that. The 10th anniversary version. And then, of course, we're going to be starting Assassin's Creed DOS number 2. Yeah, I've just been in the mood to play it. So we're going to be starting Assassin's Creed 2. And with the reception that a lot of people had to the first playthrough, some friends, some of the views on some of the videos were pretty good. And, a few people that came during the chats during Assassin's Creed 1 were really adamant that they would love to see some more. So Assassin's Creed 2 is going to be starting. And yeah, I have a few other things in the pipeline. I'm not going to say what right now, but I have a few other things. And yeah, I hope that you've enjoyed this. And I hope that we see more of this game, maybe another one in the future. A little bit more refined than this one. And, this game was ran pretty well. So, okay, well, take care. I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.